the 5th wicket, and such as deserve that. Drawing War into the drive, turning it, and 232 for 5.
Yes, this was well bowled. It was a little bit in the air, it didn't quite get to it, and really that was an off-spinner's delight. Creating the gate, getting between bat and pad, a fine delivery. And that's spun quite a long way again.
Raymond, you're positively drooling at that dismissal, to see a batsman do that.
We haven't seen too many of those in the last few years, Jack, and it was a great sight. Beautifully bowled.
Ten more runs added to take the Australian total up to 242 for 5 at the close of play. Lovely innings from Taylor, 124. Slater played very well for his 58. And Boone was solid for his 21. Border 9 and Healy 6 of the not-out batsmen. But it was a good fight back by England. Late in the day, the ball started to turn much more sharply, and it's reflected in the bowling figures. Such and Tufnell, I thought, did very well. And Such looks to me to have quite a bit of potential. 23 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 54. Tufnell, 21 overs, 4 maidens, and 1 for 65. De Freitas took the other wicket. Good conditions for the start of the second day, and we join it now in the 3rd over. It's Such coming into bowl to the Australian skipper Alan Border, and 6 runs have been added to the overnight total.
Well, that's one of the problems of the slow bowlers pose on this pitch. You go to drive, and unless you're right to it, you've got problems.
Beating against the spin, not quite middling it.
Now then, very rare that Border does play back to spin.
You see, Such gets very, very close to the stumps. That, in fact, would have missed leg stump, but it is possible that was the arm ball going straight on. As he gets so close to the balls, wicket to wicket, he can get LBWs against the left-hander. He can pitch on and hit.
Oh, dear me, what an over. What an over. Effectively 3 times.
This is a great delivery. Again, that pitch on the line I talked about, fractionally outside leg stump, and you see it missed off stump by a long way. That's the area it's turning from. Not a great shot. He didn't get to the pitch of it. He's trying to hit it over mid-wicket against the spin. Alan Border's always been prepared to come down the wicket and hit the spinners over the top, even at the start of his innings. But, well, that's a great over from Peter Such, and unlucky not to take a wicket.
Oh, it's a lovely shot.
And that'll give Alan Border a little bit of confidence inside out there with the bat. He had a bit of a tough time against Peter Such, and feel better for that shot.
A little team meeting there between Gooch and Gatting and Stewart. It'll be interesting to see whether there's any change of bowling plan. Well then, Such has earned that wicket. He really has, because in every over he's caused problems. He's bowled beautifully, and that is a big strike. Australia now 260 for 6.
Yes, they may have been discussing whether to change the bowling, but there's one thing they wouldn't want to do at the moment, and that's to take Peter Such off. He's not in great form again this morning. He's beaten Alan Border at least once or twice every over. Finally, he managed to dismiss him. Again, it's a lovely line, right on that leg stump. To the ball, plenty of turn there. Alex Stewart taking the ball. Lovely. People grumble about him being a makeshift keeper. He doesn't miss too much.
A new batsman, Brendan Julian.
Well, Julian is away, and England very much on top here this morning. It was very well bowled by Such, 5 wickets, and Julian was playing a firm pitch stroke to a ball turning in at him on a slow pitch.
Yeah, the point I made about the ball turn into the batsman, the Aussies are not as happy with that, and you see here just going forward, bat pad, straightforward catch there to short leg.
That's a very good performance by Such, 5 wickets for him. Little inside edge onto pad, and Gatting didn't move. He just kept his eyes focused on the ball as it flew from inside edge off the pad. And that's going to be out if De Freitas can make it. Yes, got it. Top edge from Merv Hughes. De Freitas behind square. It's a very good catch. It looked as though he didn't pick it up at the start. The crowd in the background, they have merged with that. And then he made very, very good ground to it. Even have been a little bit of a grab at the end, but he clutched at it and held it safely.
Yes, I think it was only a matter of time before Merv Hughes tried to hit Peter Such. He couldn't go on propping and copping there all day. You see, the hand came off the bat, so he didn't get it cleanly. He was trying to strike it probably a bit too hard. Lost his grip, it went up a long way. A little bit of a fumble here by Philip De Freitas, just in the end of the fingers, but he's such a good mover and a good pair of hands that you expect him to catch those. He was very delighted, really, because he didn't quite get it fully in the hand, got it more in the fingers. But all that matters is that he held on to it. Lovely pressure bowling by the spinners this morning. Peter Such picking up the wickets, but it's the pressure coming from both ends, not allowing the Australians to get away.
Shane Warne is the new batsman. 266 for 8. Out. Good catch. I think it's his day.
Well, wonderful bowling again and fielding, but the pressure, just pure pressure, runs drying up for Australia. The spinners bowling so tightly and well, you can almost feel it here, but you can't see where the Australian tailenders are going to get a run, and in the end, he just tried to hit him out of the ground or over the top, didn't clear mid-on. Nice neat catch by Peter Such, the main wicket taker this morning, and that's just reward for Phil Tufnell, who's played his part in bowling tight with Peter Such at the other end. I think this is the right ball to try and hit over the top. I think that's the area. Straightish mid-on. There's a big gap there. The man out for the slog is at deep mid-wicket.
Got him. Chris Lewis, brilliant. Well, what a way to finish off the innings, and that shows you when a side has got confidence, things start to run their way. Peter Such there, 6 wickets, but that last one, it won't carry his name in the scorebook, but all down to Chris Lewis. McDermott run out, and Australia all out for 289. It really was a wonderful piece of fielding and a very good session for England. 77 minutes this morning, and they've taken the last 5 wickets for 47, and there goes Peter Such, the England hero. 6 wickets on debut, and he was worth every one of them. He teased, he tormented, and he's bowling here. And we see Warne turning it away. Now Lewis has got to run, pick, turn and throw, and not easy to do accurately, but he did it all. And again, umpire Palmer's the man who's got to decide. I don't think there was much room for doubts, but that's difficult, doing a full turn and throw, and got him.
289 all out. Well, the Australians will be quite pleased with that. If you'd have offered them 289 at the start of yesterday's play, they'd have taken it and been very grateful. But it needed a good partnership at the end there between Warne and McDermott, with Warne 15 and McDermott 8 to get them up to that figure. England also will be very happy with the way it went, because the bowlers did a terrific job again this morning. What a debut for Peter Such. 33.3 overs, 9 maidens, 6 for 67, and Tufnell, the more experienced partner in the spin pair, 2 for 78 from 28 overs and 5 maidens. Well, England had to bat for half an hour before lunch, in the course of which they made 11 runs without loss. Gooch 8 not out and Atherton 1. And in making the 8 runs, Graham Gooch has gone to 8th on the list of all-time Test match run getters for England. He's moved just ahead of Colin Cowdrey. We join play now after lunch with 6 runs added. Hughes is bowling to Atherton.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled.
Well, that's a good over from Hughes. Made the ball nip back, and then this one seam away from Michael Atherton. That little push stroke, he's not getting right forward, Michael Atherton.
Oh, that's a fine shot. And really, Gooch has looked much more positive today. His feet are starting to move well, and he's been looking for gaps. Borders posted 4 close catches. There are some gaps, and Gooch is taking advantage.
Well, he has looked to play with more conviction this morning, Graham Gooch, than he did in the Texaco one-day trophy matches. He's right on that front foot, good stride forward, very positively into the ball.
Second time that Hughes has done that without any reward, and he's been the best of the new ball attack so far. That's a good shot, and so far McDermott hasn't posed anywhere near the threat of Hughes.
Well, I'm not surprised either. Lovely shot from Michael Atherton. A bit of width from Craig McDermott. Look, wide outside off stump. It's short of length. Allowing Michael Atherton on the back foot. Lovely balance, you see. Gets right back on his tiptoes and just times it away.
Good shot.
Stick that on a video and look at it every time you want to know how to play a proper, it's really a hook pull shot. Hit it straight down.
Yes, McDermott doesn't often bowl the bouncer. And Gooch, even coming forward, still had plenty of time to just rock back and hit that ball down. In front of square there, that shows the pace of the pitch.
Beautiful stroke. It's a loosener for Merv, and also for Graham Gooch.
Yes, that was a fine shot of vintage Gooch. We haven't seen too many of those this season so far. Considering he came in today, in that first 2 he got off the mark, he was positive, he ran quickly for the 2, and he's not very positive since he came in.
71 for no wicket. Good time to say good afternoon to Ian Chappell.
A good time? What's good about it from Australia's point of view, Tony?
He's out. That's what's good about it, I'm afraid. 71 for 1. Atherton goes for 19. Merv Hughes gets his reward. He's really plugged away hard for that. And a very faint downside edge. 71 for 1, the England score.
Now I see why they made you captain of England, Tony. You knew what was going to happen. So Merv Hughes rewarded there for bowling a pretty good line and length. One of the great things about Merv Hughes, he mightn't look the most fashionable fast bowler, but he always seems to get a breakthrough for his skipper. Bit of a nothing shot there from Mike Atherton, playing across the crease rather than either back or forward, and Merv Hughes was pretty pleased to see him go.
Yeah, there's no obvious movement, was there? One could see it was a good effort. He bowled it from wide of the crease. Perhaps Atherton imagined it was slanting in towards him, and that went straight on. Straightforward catch. Great shot. Crisp and square, and Graham Gooch's 50.
Seven boundaries in that 50, and a totally different player to the one that we saw in the one-day series, where he was pushing forward with the foot and then just searching with the bat. But he's been very positive in this innings and played extremely well.
That's a great shot.
Gatting has certainly come to the crease in a very positive frame of mind. That's the second square drive he's played, both of them off the middle of the bat. First one picked out Shane Warne at point. On that occasion, no problem at all with the placement. Shane Warne's variety, apart from the stock leg spinner, he bowls a wrong-un or a googly. He has a top spinner and he also has a flipper.
First ball. Now what's happened? Mike Gatting staying there. The bail is off. He's bowled him. Gatting can't believe it. Dickie Bird, I suppose, can believe it. First ball, lethal.
So I think for a moment that Mike Gatting must have felt that it perhaps hit the keeper and went back onto the stumps. It was a perfectly pitched leg spinner, pitching just outside leg with a little bit of curve, and that's a beautiful delivery. Not a bad one to start with. I can understand Mike Gatting being disbelieving.
That was amazing. It was it just drifted in as leg spinners do, opening up Gatting's right shoulder. You see the shoulder coming open and then zipping back and cracking against the off stump. .80 for 2. Robin Smith comes to the crease. My word, I think I was right. I'd have had this guy on ages ago. Easy from here, but it's an extra dimension, isn't it? Flight, spin, wrist spin, sharp spin. That's all right. Give it some air. As Ian Chappell says, if you bowl with the wrist spin, you've got to take your whacks now and again. It's a good shot down the pitch, but how you come back counts.
And he's done it. Brilliantly done. Two great deliveries have given Warne 2 wickets, one to get Gatting, flicked the off stump, and now Robin Smith taken it slip. That was a classic leg spinner's delivery. Pitched, well, I think the replay might show it, pitched about middle and spun to find the outside edge. Exactly what the leg spinner will plan.
Yes, well, it turned Robin Smith round, pitching about leg stump, I would say, so he had to play at it towards mid-on, and then it spun quite a lot. England had a taste of all these spinners in the winter in India. The ball turning quite sharply at times, but just lateral movement, nothing jumping. And you'll see here that this one just turns quite a lot. Leg stumpish, I would say. Really turns him round.
Graham Hick is the new batsman. Not pitched quite right. And he'd be very disappointed about that, Shane Warne. It's the first time he's shown it. And Hick has struck that beautifully straight down the ground, only a yard from the boundary row, but he did it without any apparent effort.
Well, this is how he played in India. He looked to be very positive against the spinners, and that's when he was successful.
Picked the wrong one and gave it plenty. End of the over, end of the session, tea, and 2 enthralling sessions of play here. Gooch did that well. 99 for 3, England at tea, and Gooch looking to be in tremendous form. That's a nice comeback for him. Atherton 19, Hughes the man who broke through, and Warne, well, what a start for him in England. 2 wickets, and very, very quickly. 2 for 8 from 5 overs and 3 maidens. McDermott no wickets, Hughes 1, and that is looking very, very good for the Australians at that point. We join play with the second ball after tea. McDermott is the bowler in his 11th over, and Graham Hick is taking strike.
Ended up for England, and the second 50 coming marginally quicker than the first. Good shot. On this pitch, that's fatal.
McDermott pitching short, doing it width as well, and bounced quite high, but Graham Hick at 6'4", no real problem for him to get on top of that.
Oh, what a delivery that was, and just to see where keeper Healy took it reveals what the problem was. Must have hit the sprinkler head.
Well, this was probably the best delivery bowled by a quick bowler in the match. Good length, good line.
And picked the length of that well. You see, he's been getting to smother the leg spin of Warne, and persuaded him to just bowl it a bit shorter. And the pace of the pitch is such that even somebody like Warne, who pushes it through, gave Hick the room he wanted.
Yes, just short of a length, leg spinner.
Beautifully placed. You won't see anything better than that.
No, he really is a fine off-side player, Graham Hick. He stands upright, the foot goes right to it, and, well, that's a perfect follow-through, is that? The left elbow nice and high. Yes, straight out of the caution manual.
First one of real width that Graham Gooch has been given.
The point is, did Gooch think that was the googly? Certainly looked like it by the shot he played. hit the last ball before tea, which was a googly, with that type of shot over wide long on, and I can't believe he didn't think that was a googly.
Now he's getting in a tangle, and this is super stuff. Pitching outside leg stump, covering, look at that, turning nearly 2 feet. Oh, and then out. Looked a full toss, but who can deny Warne anything, because he's bowled brilliantly. But what a body blow for England. Gooch out for 65 and 123 now for 4.
Yeah, I think Graham Gooch had been setting his mind to play forward to Shane Warne, and then suddenly this full toss comes kind of way up on the bat. Well, maybe he just didn't hit it, didn't hit that high up the bat. Certainly didn't hit the middle of the bat, but you can see he'd already made his mind up to play forward. And sometimes when you're doing that, you don't hit the bat ball too well. Been a good innings by the captain. He's looking much better form, more positive. And it's certainly just what England needed. But certainly the game's back in even Stevens now.
New batsman Alex Stewart, and he's coming to the wicket because of the loss of his captain.
Well, I reckon that carried only just. But Hick has been tormented in this over. He's been finding the inside edge, bottom edge. That one went, I think, very low down, but straight to point. Steve Waugh's the man.
Beautifully bowled, turned and spun. See how difficult it is for Alex Stewart. He's used to playing the seam bowlers first before he gets to the spinners. And then he plays the spinners quite well, but it's a different ball game when you have to actually start on naught not out against a spinner turning the ball.
It's unusual. I have a feeling that might just have flicked his glove.
Yeah, it looks as if it's gone from bat, pad to bat.
He's got that away over extra cover. Probably premeditated. Although there was just a sliver of a chance he was beaten in the flight.
Well, it was a daring shot, this. It is a favourite area of Alex Stewart's, to use his feet, get down the pitch and hit it through or over extra cover. But with the ball turning away from him, he'd better be sure he gets right to the pitch.
A variety of garb at his cricket matches. That's very well bowled. Beat him in the flight. Captain at this moment will be trying to think of other field placings that might work. Does he need a man close in on the leg side? But he's got it just about right at the moment. He's got 3 men in catching position. Slip, silly point himself, and then the man at short cover. Shot for 4. That's a lovely stroke from Graham Hick. It was just short. Not all that much, but just enough. And Hick picked it up very quickly.
And just a little bit of width. By the time it turns, you see, it's a good 12 inches outside off stump. It rocks back nicely, Graham Hick. Just times it well.
Successive boundaries. 2 good strokes by Graham Hick.
And this is down the leg side. Hick picks it well. Lovely sweep shot.
It was a trap ball. It was short, it was wide, it asked to be belted. It was belted. And Alan Border held onto it. Perhaps going away to his strong left hand, but that was a terrific catch.
Looked as though there may have been just a little bit of top edge there as Hick was trying to roll his wrists and hit the ball into the ground. Perhaps that's one reason why it didn't travel quite so quickly and gave Border the chance to leap into the air and take the catch.
Chris Lewis is the new batsman. Alex Stewart picked that up very cleanly.
Stewart has displayed better footwork than probably anybody else against Shane Warne. And the ball's short, he's getting back and dealing with it. And when he's come forward, he's come quite a long way forward.
That's very well played, in fact, by Chris Lewis. You can see what Merv is trying to do. Slant the ball in, make it lift a little bit towards the rib cage. But this time it's runs. Cracking shot. Really, I think Hughes has overplayed his hand a little bit here. As I said, once you plant a message in the batsman's mind, you can play the alternative game and pitch the ball up and catch him by surprise. But it's got a little predictable, I feel. Good footwork. And the lofted drive. That's a very positive move by Alex Stewart.
On that occasion, he's come the full 3 paces out of his crease. Excellent footwork.
Oh, to near. Oh, brilliant. What a sensational catch. That was brilliant. What is a reflex stop, first of all, and that was the plan. The plan worked. David Boone flipped the ball up and then turned and almost chased and dived. The ball dropped away from him.
I've seen David Boone make quite a few catches in this bat pad region, but I haven't seen him make many better ones than that.
And that is out. Julian's first test wicket. England now in trouble, 178 for 7.
Well, that was a classical left arm over the wicket delivery, swinging in for the right-handed batsman. His Freitas just shuffling across the wicket. Probably hitting about leg and middle. The only thing the umpire had to look for there was the ball pitching outside leg stump.
New batsman Andrew Carrick. Oh, beautifully bowled. Big swinger. That really was gorgeous piece of swing bowling. Stewart goes for 27, and that's England's last chance of getting anything over 200, you would think. 183 for 8.
I think it looks a little bit of a loose shot by Alex Stewart as well, but in his mind will be thinking of playing a few shots, trying to pick a few runs up quickly. Very good delivery as well.
Yeah, Julian's got this ability to swing the ball back into the right-handers, and that's priceless, because if there's the slightest bit of gap, that happens. Peter Such, the new batsman. When he's given him. Has he given him? No, he's given leg byes. Certainly the hand came out. That brings the 200 up. Big appeal for LBW. Umpire Palmer's right hand started to come out as though he'd given him out. But the batsman can breathe again.
One more run added to take England up to 202 for 8 at stumps. Not at batsman Caddick 6 and Such on 9. 65 to Gooch, 19 to Atherton, 34 to Hick, who I thought played very well today, and 27 to Stewart. And the bowling figures for Australia: McDermott wicketless, Hughes 3 for 52, did a terrific job, Julian 2 for 30, and Warne, his first bowl in a test match in England, 21 overs, 7 maidens, and 3 for 51. Total with Gooch top score.